for some Horned Frog football. It's the regular season finale. Frogs are coming off a big ranked win over Houston a week ago, while the Bearcats have lost the last 3. Both teams are 7-4, looking to improve their bowl resume. Cincinnati is not where I was hoping to be, considering their 7-1 start and ranked at number 17. The Frogs lost 2 of the last 3, but are playing with a lot of momentum coming into the final week of the regular season. Both teams looking for win number 8. Skies are gray, it's 65 degrees, and rain is in the forecast from kickoff through early evening. Frogs Bearcats right around the corner. This is the Frogs Today football pregame show, brought to you by Texit. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and welcome to your final Frogs Today football pregame show of the regular season. Brought to you, as always, by our friends at Texit. An emotional day for seniors alike on the field, sideline, and stands. I'm your host, Jules Conti, alongside Faith Lester, coming to you live from the Moncrief Club in the south end zone of the Amon G. Carter Stadium.
Thanks, Jules. All of the emotions today, but definitely ready for some Frog football to be back in Funky Town after 3 weeks away from home. Last time out, and despite 4 turnovers on the road against top 25 Houston, the Frogs traveled south and got the win. 17-14 over the Cougars, with Josh Hoover going 24 for 33 for 293 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those 24 completions move Hoover past Max Duggan for the all-time completions list, trailing only Trayvon Boykin and Andy Dalton.
9 of those completions were to senior transfer from Houston, to note, Joseph Manjack, for a total of 95 yards. He would have had over 150 yards if it wasn't for that 45-yard reception that was called back. Manjack was a featured guest on State of the Frogs with head coach Sonny Dykes, and he talked about his return to his former school.
Couldn't be any more grateful to be here. It's such a great place, such great people around here. I'm just so grateful.
You seem like a really humble guy. That's nice to hear. What's family like for you? Family come to your games, all this stuff?
Yeah, whenever they can. So far, everybody's been able to make every home game so far this year, mom and dad. But I had a lot of people at the Houston game last week. But yeah, family's big for me, and always grateful for them.
Let's talk about that. So 3 years at Houston, you come to TCU for your senior year. You go back to Houston for Houston Senior Day. You know a bunch of the guys on the team. You know Coach Fritz. What was that experience like for you?
It was good. I was just happy we ended up getting the win, but it was good seeing my teammates out there and talk to them after the game as well.
Did they all come and give you a hug, say hi to you?
Yeah, I don't think I got to say what's up to everybody, but majority of the guys that I did, it was good to see them.
For sure. And we touched on this earlier in this interview, but you transferred a lot in your life. Is it just because opportunity presents itself? What's causing all these transfers? Is nothing wrong, good or bad, but you transfer a lot compared to most people we talk to.
I think that's God's way of making you see the world, because I've always been big on not changing and always sticking to one thing that I know, like I don't like change at all, and then ended up transferring in high school. So I've been to 2 high schools, I've been to 3 colleges, so I feel like that was just God's way of, get out of your comfort zone.
What a wonderful story. If you missed it, check out the show on our website at frogstoday.com. Also through the air, the Biletnikoff semifinalist Eric McAllister's 79 yards moves him to 1,020 yards on the season, making him 5th on the single season receiving yards list as a Frog. He scored the game's first touchdown, a 33-yard reception in the first quarter. Receivers coach and former Oklahoma and NFL receiver Malcolm Kelly on his receiver room.
You've coached some serious dogs on this team. Start with Jalen Rager, Quentin Johnston, or a few of them, and guys even on the team now. But what does it feel like to be where you're from, to coach guys at that level of talent? There's some guys on your resume that are big time.
Yeah. Like you said, you mentioned Coach Dykes, and obviously Coach Dykes had a decision to make when he took over. He could have retained me or he could have let me go. And again, I'm thankful for him for seeing the vision and trusting, that I would be an asset to the program. But man, like I say, that's the reason why I do this, is to get these young men in here and to get them better.
Sure.
So you talk about a dude like Jalen Rager, who was great in the classroom, worked his tail off on the field. Won every single sprint. Quentin Johnston, the exact same. Jalen Rager recruited Quentin Johnston. He hosted Quentin Johnston on his recruiting trip. So obviously then you go from Quentin Johnston to Savion Williams. Savion Williams and Quentin Johnston in the same recruiting class. First round pick, third round pick. Jalen Rager's a first round pick. Then you get Jack Besh, who moved into the room his last year. He ends up being a second round pick. then you have Eric McAllister this year, who's going to be a draft pick. So it's again, I don't know a whole lot about offensive linemen. I don't know a whole lot about defensive linemen, but receivers, that's my wheelhouse.
Surely.
You know what I mean?
What's it like in the receivers room? You being a former player and you know what they know. What do you demand of your players in the receivers?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this, man. My guys are not robots. My guys will never walk around on eggshells around me, ever. Everybody has their own personality. The biggest thing is I ask the guys to do your job, so know what to do, and to practice and go as hard as humanly possible. And if you do that, I believe in my ability to develop talent. So those two things married together has equal success, and I'll continue to do that.
On the ground, Jeremy Payne carried the ball 18 times for 103 yards. This was his first career 100-yard rushing game. Receiver Jordan Dwyer reeled in a 17-yard toss, putting the Frogs up 14-0. And later in the game, had a 53-yard punt return, setting up a 29-yard field goal by Nate McCashlin, which turned out to be the winning kick.
With the game on the line, our Frog defense would bend a little but not break, only allowing 14 points, led by linebacker Caleb Alarmzor with 15 tackles, his fifth double-digit tackle game and third 15-plus tackle game of the season. Right behind him was Namdi Obiizor with 10 tackles. Here is Alarmzor on his performance this season, as well as head coach Sonny Dykes on the win.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't really even been paying attention to the season I've been having. I mean, I've been just trying to stay in the present moment, not focus on the statistics too much, and just taking one play at a time, do my job, strain every play, and I know the rest will take care of itself. So, I mean, I know what the stats are and I know what the numbers are, but at the same time, I'm just trying to focus on getting wins.
A hard-fought, ugly win, similar to the way we thought the game would go, really honestly. Just, talked about it all week. The team, when you get this late in the season, week 11, week 12, really boils down to which team's the most motivated team to play. And I thought our guys were highly motivated. We talked all week about how important it was going to be just to strain and try to figure out a way to win the game, not to pay attention to the highs and lows of the game. And our guys overcame a lot. I mean, you think about it, we overcame 4 turnovers. We overcame 2 touchdowns that got called back for penalty. Very seldom can you do those things and win a football game. We didn't score on either one of those drives where we had those penalties. And so, we had to overcome a lot. And to the guys' credit, they did. They found a way to win. And we've got to do a better job as a team and as a program, though, of being able to pull away. We had our opportunities in this game to really separate and go up 2 scores, and we just didn't do it, and we missed those opportunities. And more often than not, when you do that, the other team finds a way to beat you. And that's happened to us a couple of times this year. We were in that same situation at Arizona State where we had a chance to kind of separate and go up 2-3 scores. Had the same opportunity against Iowa State here. We're unable to do it. Fortunately for us, we were able to make enough plays down the stretch that we were able to win on Saturday. And so lots of stuff to improve on, but a great win. Again, really proud of our players. We talked about all week again, there was going to be the culture was going to be really important, and I think that was a culture win for us. Just the fact that our guys never gave up and just kept fighting all the way through from start to finish gave us a chance to win.
Bearcats are coming off of a 26-14 loss to BYU, their 3rd straight loss, with quarterback Brendan Sorbsby going 25 for 38 for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Bearcats are capable of playing some good football after a 7-1 start to the season. More on this matchup later in the show. But first, after a word from our sponsor, Texit Coin, we have TCU Athletic Director Mike Buddy when we return.
Keeping score of your finances but missed the Bitcoin wagon? There's a second chance called Texit Coin. Score big at texitcoin.org.
Welcome back into your Frogs Today football pregame show. I am now joined once again by TCU's Athletic Director, Mike Buddy. Congratulations on your first full season for TCU football. This is the last regular season game of the year. Can you tell me about your experience so far?
Well, I'll tell you, it went by in a hurry, right? It feels like it wasn't so long ago you and I sat here for the first time, and here we are for the last time in the regular season, as you pointed out. But it's been a heck of a run. Obviously, any season, unless you end at 13-14-0, that there are things you can look back on and say, man, if we had just gotten this ball bounce this way. But in terms of a learning curve for me in my first season in the Big 12, what I learned was you can't take anything for granted. Every team in the Big 12 can give you a real tough day, especially on the road. It's really hard to win on the road. So really thrilled. Great opportunity to get to 8 wins and see that number 9 in the bowl game would be a pretty great person.
Definitely. Speaking about tough road matchups between other Big 12 opponents, we just went to Houston. They're number 23 ranked and beat them. Coach Dykes called it a cultural win for his team.
Yeah, I completely agree, right? Because at this point in the season, that was funny at Clemson said something very interesting, which is there's 136 FBS football teams trying to get 12 spots. In the NFL, there's 32 teams that get 16 spots. So in the NFL, it's built that if you go 9-8, you get a chance to play for the big trophy.
Yeah.
In college football, it's basically if you win 1 game, you're on the bubble, and 2, you're probably on the wrong side of the bubble. And so for Coach Dykes to go in there, already having lost 4 games, going on the road, tough place to play, a really veteran team that knows how to win. For us to be able to close that game out of Houston and get that ranked road win, it does say a lot about the culture. And we played even in every game. BYU was a really tough atmosphere for us. But other than that, we're a bounce away from having a really special season. But that's what it takes to win. You've got to get those bounces in every game at this level to have a special season.
The spirits were definitely high coming off of that victory in Houston. Video circulated of Coach Dykes singing karaoke to Bon Jovi on the plane ride home. Did they ask you to sing, and what's your go-to karaoke song?
What's funny, I did hear Mike Buddy chant getting started, so I quickly threw my headphones on and pretended like I didn't hear it.
Taking a nap.
And I'll tell you this, that's another piece of the culture of this team, because the reason that Coach Dykes is doing that is because we had a 3-hour delay. And so we were trying to pass time, and you have two opportunities: just sit there and get angrier and angrier if you're delayed, or have some fun with it. So I was glad that Coach Dykes. For me, Sweet Caroline is always a city song. It really fits my vocal register really well. Or anything by Biz Markie is also very fun and easy to do. You got to pick something that everybody on the plane will know the chorus.
Sing along with you. Yeah, of course. And we'd love to hear it. We will do a little Frogs Today rendition and get some karaoke in one of our shows. You can lead us off. Speaking of, you were saying about how lucky it would be to go off and win a bowl game this season. There's a lot on the line for this game as bowl game destinations come out in a week from tomorrow. Can you tell everyone watching kind of what goes into that process of bowl selection?
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Today's a big day because there's a lot of teams in that 6-6, 7-4, 8-3 area right now, and we're playing another 7-4 teams. So this would catapult us. And the Big 12 is a little bit unique in how it handles bowls, and that all of our 7 bowl partners basically they get to pick an order. And instead of like the number 1 bowl having to pick the number 1 or 2 team that doesn't make it to the CFP, they're free to kind of pick anybody they want to in their own round. And, our scout director with the Big 12 does a really good job. He understands teams don't want to go to the same bowl two out of every 3 years. Teams don't want to be too close to home. All those things are factored in. But at the end of the day, it's the bowl themselves that really get to say, hey, we want TCU. We believe that they'll travel, sell tickets, and have a great experience.
Wow, I didn't know that. I'm glad that I asked.
It's kind of out of our hands. Once you're eliminated from the CFP bracket, pretty much any bowl can be.
I want to talk about some of the other TCU athletics that are kind of popping up, blowing up right now. Starting with our women's soccer team, who are in Nashville right now to play in the league against number 1 Vanderbilt. I'm not sure if any of you guys saw this back home when they played UNC here in Fort Worth. And with 5 seconds left in the game, a freshman Fullers headed the ball in, blocked the game penalty kicks, and now we're playing in the Elite 8. Did you see that as a Sports Center top 5 play?
Yeah, and we were wrong. We should have had Sports Center top 5.
I'm sure.
If you've been to enough soccer games, the odds of scoring in the last 5 seconds of the game against the reigning national champion, no less, in the Sweet 16, it was just really a perfect storm of an example how every second counts, every play counts. And I just love how, from Sydney to get the ball, to get it on the line, to make the corner kick, to Cam heading it in, which, by the way, was like a ricochet off the goalie, on the post, off the goalie, off the post in. And then to be able to fight through 2 overtimes, to be able to score a goal. And it's interesting little nugget, too. Their Coach Bell is Big 12 Coach of the Year. Should be his perennial. When we go out to Vanderbilt tonight and win, we'll advance to the College Cup and play Florida State, which is with Eric Bell. He's got to start with college coaching. So, great little storyline there. And by the way, speaking of beating reigning national champs.
I know.
Any other questions?
I know, that was the next one I was throwing it to. Our men's basketball team heads over to San Diego and takes down the defending national champions, the Florida Gators. Not a good day to be a defending national champion and playing a TCU team. UNC and Florida.
Yeah, it's a shame we won by Ohio State today in football.
I went.
Right? I think they're busy. They got another game.
That's a big one, but
Just a really great job of the young men on our basketball team rebounding, right? We all know we started the year, we took a tough loss at home to a New Orleans team, and we just didn't make any shots. And I talked to Coach Dixon. All you can do is try to get your team open shots. Whether they go in or not is kind of out of the coach's hands. And to go play Michigan down to the wire, another top 5 team, I think it gave them some really good confidence. And then David Holmes, Brock Harding, the chemistry on that team, you can just see it happening in front of our eyes. And to go there, to be able to close that game out against Florida, and then rebound the next day against a Big Ten opponent like Wisconsin. Great opportunities. And speaking of great opportunities, they got the guys from San Diego, sleep, practice, and play Notre Dame. And so,
no game.
And I have to say, and I know you asked about the men's team, but like what Mark Suarez and Olivia Miles are doing on the women's side right now, you try to Maddie share, like sometimes she don't miss for weeks at a time. Talk about a team that's fun to watch. It's our top 10 ranked teams.
Of course. It's a good day to be a Horned Frog. It's a good season to be a Horned Frog because all of our athletics programs are really playing at the top of their game right now. So if you don't, make sure you're following along with all of our athletics. Follow us on our social media platforms for All Frogs Today because we are on location always. Speaking of, you're on location in Nashville as well. We'll throw you over there after the football game today. But I want to thank you again for coming on every single week. It has been such a pleasure to talk to you before the Frogs kick off. And it's been such a wonderful season and another one for the books.
The pleasure's all mine. It's been a great season. Best of wishes to you, and go Frogs.
Go Frogs.
The origin of the purest water the planet has to offer? Clouds, aka nature's original water source. At Richards, we found a simple process to collect each magical drop, filter it, and pour it into infinitely renewable aluminum cans and glass bottles, leaving for all the purest, best-tasting water. Straight from the source, the clouds. When we drink the rain, it's good for all, people and the earth. So taste for yourself and sip the sky. Richards Rainwater.
Welcome back to the Moncrief Club in the south end zone of Amon G. Carter Stadium. We're sorry about our audio difficulties during our interview with TCU Athletic Director Mike Buddy, but we have things fixed now and ready for some game time. I'm Alexa Montanez, and let's talk a little bit of betting. It seems like we hear a lot about that nowadays. The Frogs are 3.5-point favorites in this one, and it makes sense as both teams are 7-4 going into this game. And the Frogs are at home, and they have the momentum. It's their last home game. 25 seniors will play their last game in the Carter, and it's the season finale. Lots to play for. The over-under is 57.5, and so far this season, the Frogs are 5-5 and 1 against the spread, while the Bearcats are 6-5 against the spread this season. The probability is on TCU's side with a 62.4% chance of taking this one home. The rain could play a factor in this one. The last time the two teams met, it was a whiteout, and what I mean by a whiteout is it snowed during the entire second half of play in Cincinnati, with the Frogs coming out on top 20-13. Our Frogs had to deal with some rain at Arizona State and then 3 weather delays in their 5-hour and 50-minute home win over Baylor in October. The forecast today, according to the Fox 4 weather app, calls for a 30% chance of showers at kickoff, going up to 70% around halftime, and it's not out of the area until around 10 p.m. Temps will be in the 60s and steadily will drop throughout the game as a cold front moves through. Rain, shine, or snow, we look forward to this Big 12 matchup. Big 12 football has been solid all year, and every game is unpredictable in this conference. 3 teams are ranked in the college football playoffs, led by Texas Tech at number 5, followed by BYU and Utah, who are number 11 and number 13. And don't forget about Arizona State and Arizona, who sit at number 20 and 25. The Frogs and the Bearcats have spent time in the top 25 this season as well, along with Iowa State and Houston. Power 4 conference conference championship games will be determined after games finish up today. The final set of college football rankings will be released on Sunday, December 7th at 11 a.m., which will determine the 12-team playoff field consisting of the 5 highest-ranked conference champions and 7 other highest-ranked teams. Bowl destinations will be announced as well on that day. The Frogs' bowl resume gets better with a solid win today against the Bearcats. Here is head coach Sonny Dykes on his State of the Frogs, talking about the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Yeah, they were a 7-1 team and really hit some good teams. I mean, they lost to Utah, BYU, and Arizona, all 3 really good football teams. And you know, a lot of winning and losing has to do with who you play. And so they've played some really good people down the stretch. They've got a great team. It's a very balanced team. They're very good on offense, very good on defense, very good on special teams. A quarterback that can run and throw. Defensively, they're really good up front. Got one of the best nose tackles in the league for sure, and D lines. Athletic linebackers, length, great tacklers at safety. I mean, just an overall really solid and good football team.
Thanks, Alexa. This Big 12 continues to prove itself as one of the strongest Power 4 conferences in the country, and we have seen that each and every week this season. Kickoff coming soon from the Carter, another game putting the Frogs on the national stage, 2:40 p.m. on Fox. In the past 4 matchups between TCU and Cincinnati, the teams are 2-2, with the Frogs getting the road win last season. As Alexa mentioned, the Frogs are expected to hand the Bearcats their 5th loss of the season.
The Frogs have played well at home all season, and at 4-1, we have heard it all season long. Turnovers will be the difference, and TCU has to take care of the ball at home as well as take the ball away. The offense gets the publicity with one of the nation's best high-powered passing games, but the defense takes their game up a few notches when it's in the Carter and with 13 of the 18 takeaways at home.
Absolutely. And to add, the Bearcats offense has turned it over 7 times in the last 3 games. They are 0-4 when giving up the ball multiple times, but 7-0 when they don't. The turnovers have killed them this season. We talked to head coach Scott Satterfield. He mentioned in his presser earlier this week that the Bearcats need to get better pressure on the quarterback, and in the same breath talked about Josh Hoover and Eric McAllister.
Yeah, he's a talented quarterback. I mean, he is a true passer. You go watch him, and I mean, last year I think he broke the school record at TCU, and he's had another fine season this year. He can make all the throws, deep throws. Your deep out routes to the field. He puts pressure on you because of that. I think he's very competitive. I think he's just he's an outstanding quarterback and has been, ever since he's been playing. So, last year, we did a pretty good job of containing him. I think maybe the second half had something to do with it because it looked like a snow globe when you watch the film. It was snow everywhere. Probably had a little something to do with that. But, he's an outstanding quarterback. He's another one in this league that we knew was going to be good, and he's going to be hard to contain. Number one is one of the best receivers in our conference. I think he's over 1,000 yards now. He's an outstanding player. They find different ways, to get him the ball. They do throw it quite a bit, so you're going to get some stats for those guys. So you're going to get 2 or 3 guys that's going to get a lot of yards and catches, and they do a good job with it. But number one, he stands out to me because he can make plays. Like he'll catch a hitch and make the corner miss, and he's going for 50. He's that kind of player. So we're going to have to know where he's at and try to obviously keep guys on top of him because he can make plays.
If TCU can keep the run game going to add to their dynamic passing offense, TCU is looking at their 8th win of the season. And on the other side of the ball, TCU is 5-0 when allowing fewer than 145 yards rushing. So looking to stop the dangerous Bearcat ground game will be a challenge. When the Frogs hold up against the run, good things happen.
Faith, when you mentioned getting that important 8th win, if they get that win today, it'll be the first time in a decade that the Frogs will record consecutive 8-win seasons. It's the annual fan appreciation game. The Frogs will take the field at 2:36 p.m. and kickoff is set for 2:40. Jason Benetti, Robert Griffin III, and TCU alum Alexa Lannistoy have the call today for Fox. It's a big one, Frog Nation. Well, this has been your Frogs Today football pregame show presented by Texit Coin, live from the Moncrief Club here in the south end zone of the Amon G. Carter Stadium. A special thank you to Mike Buddy for joining joining us, as always, on today's show. For Alexa Montanez, Faith Lester, I'm Jules Conti. We'll see you guys after the game, and go Frogs.